Okay, guys, we just wrapped up our trades for the trading day. I am going to now go over all the clips I have throughout the trades and compile them together and show y'all what I was thinking in the moment and how we executed. Okay, I just wanted to tune in. I'm probably going to clip this around just so I don't have a hour or multiple hour long video of me just staring at the chart. But at the moment, what I'm seeing daily is bullish on gold. I'm seeing bullish divergence. I'm seeing that it has bottomed out. If I pull up my smart money concepts here, I'm seeing that it came down to this support. We got a nice rejection with momentum and volume. Light push, break of the high. We had a retest. And if we go down to the 1 hour, I'm seeing that this retest here, if I pull up a fib for this, was right around the 61.8, and it has a huge bullish move preparing. And then if we go down to the 15 minute, once it did bottom out on that move inside of structure from the low to the high, it came down to the 61.8, blew up, good indication, came down again, failed, broke, and then on market open here, you can see, why is it not working? Let me turn this off. There we go. You can see that from open right at the 61.8, it flew up to the negative 61.8. But what I'm thinking here now is that I have enough validation and discernment and conviction that I do think this week could be a bullish week for gold. So I'm going to remove this one now. And in the short term tonight, if I'm going to be looking for a trade, it's going to be on this fib level here from this low to this high. And let's just zoom in and make sure we got that really crispy. Beautiful. So depending on how it reacts to the 38.2, and I'm honestly like to see it come down to the 0.5 or the 61.8. But because of my strategy with the fib level present, and would hope to see it at the 38.2, the 50%, or the 61.8, hopefully near key support or prior breakout area. So for the double confluence, if we could have this turn into support, it kind of break into this 38.2, come down to right below the 50, and then maybe even bounce and tap the 50 and then build support here. This could make a very good case to take a buy. But if it sells off really hard, it might rush down to the 61.8 and then take off from there. So either way, because of this very strong bullish move without a genuine retracement yet, and the fact that we're kind of seeing it happen now, I am highly convicted that we will get a retracement. So yeah, I'm gonna cut this now and we will see what happens. If not, then no trade. All right, guys, we are back. I did have a phone call, but just as I mentioned in the previous clip, if we look at the chart here on the 15-minute, I still do believe that this is bullish. I believe that it had the divergence and that we are actually possibly going to be pushing to these highs and maybe have a bullish week for gold. So I waited, and just like I mentioned, when it came in between this 38.2 and this 0.5, I expected the bounce. I actually did. I could say I entered early, but I was watching the chart on the 1 minute and I saw this bullish momentum candle, and I ended up entering on that candle close, and it actually sold off a little bit, but I've just been holding. I have, whoops, I have one micro open, the same exact trade on my top step with the $500 stop loss, which actually comes out to right about the 0.27 on this, which makes it a 3.62, roughly a 3.5. But if we do see this push, I could continue to trail this and could actually see this go, we could hold this and it could run all day, and it could end up hitting a 1 to 10, 1 to 13, whatever. But our first target is going to be this just simple little 1 to 3. Um I would like to be streaming the entire time, but I do think that maybe doing these cuts is going to be a little bit more efficient until I get a little bit better with editing, just to have the chart open and have the mic on the whole time. Because, like, being in a call with somebody else, it's kind of like I can't take it too serious. So I left the call with them for a little bit to just come in here and check in and update, since I do have an open trade now, just being fully transparent. I am still confident. If this is to hit stop loss, probably should have waited for it to be a 5 minute momentum candle, which, like, right now it looks more of like this is the 5 minute momentum candle, but I entered way over here. So at the moment, I do think that even though I entered early and could have paid for that if it wanted to keep selling, I do believe now it is creating the structure that I was expecting in the first place. With it using this to be a new support and selling off in the middle and then bouncing from that. So we will see. My stop loss is pretty healthy as well. So as long as it does respect this support and continue this volume and buy side momentum upwards, we should be golden. And once it does get to, where is it at? Right in between, right, right above this high, approaching these highs, that is when I'm going to be setting it to break even, slightly above break even. So at the moment, we are just being patient and watching, accepting that the trade could lose, accepting that it could win, not adding any positions, not doing anything, because I do think that even though this looks good, it is honestly still slightly risky, just simply because of the fact that this support has not been fully confirmed yet. So it could retest and break and continue selling. It hasn't broken any actual super valid highs. But if it does buy, I think that this is a good entry, and if it sells, it really could just go either way. But honestly, I'm not mad at what I'm looking at here. I won't be mad if it loses. Obviously, we'd all like when we start something like this to start off with a win, but I think that if I do start off with a loss and I handle it like a boss, that's equal dub in my book. So I'll be back once we see this move a little bit more. Honestly, if it stays here and starts to do this for about another hour or so, we may actually just close the trade. We don't want to sit here and watch no volume either. We expect this to be moving to the upside very soon. So if that doesn't happen, we may be closing for partial loss or partial profit if it's somewhere in this little area, if this becomes a range. So that's all I got. All right, talk to you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back with another update. So far, the trade is not looking too pretty. We did retest the support and it broke beneath it, but it is holding above the 50% right now. And if we go to this, you can see actually on my Top Step account, it's right by this moving average. So it might be able to hold, but it is looking overall pretty bearish right now. So I think it probably is going to stop me out. New plan would be to wait and see if it's going to come down here and if we're going to get our golden entry or if we will just be done for this session. If it does come up again, I may actually consider just cutting this because I think that it is dead. But since it is about 90% stop loss, I am going to watch this to see if it's going to tap this and bounce or if it's just going to go ahead and keep pushing down. But yeah. Stop loss hit. GG's. That is all for this trade. On to the next. Okay, guys, we are in another buy on gold. It is currently 12:18 a.m. It is a new day. I have been watching the charts and chilling. We kind of watched this support get broken. Trade hit stop loss, broke down, kind of tried to retest it, failed. I wanted to enter at the 61.8, but it didn't really come down there. And I had this counter trend line that I saw as well. It broke that, broke out right around the hour, with strong volume. And if we go to the 5 minute here, it broke right above the 50 with a strong bullish candle, followed by some more bullish candles. And it is now above the support. And I'm just looking for a 1 to 3 here. So it doesn't even have to hit the high, but I have two entries. I could afford 2 micros. So I'm looking for it to go around right here. But if it does break this high, I'll probably close one and then I can let one run and then potentially, move my stop up. But at the moment, it's just going to be right around $350 for a little over a 1 to 2 and to cover some fees. Momentum and the volume actually is here this time, and it looks like it's going our direction. So as long as we keep having the bulls go, not that this matters much either, but this has been 50-50 all night, and it looks like I'm not the only one that thinks it's going to go long here. And the average price is 41.98. They got in a little sooner than me. Pretty good buy. But I wanted to wait for as many confirmations as possible just to be safe with my money. So we will see what happens. Okay, guys, a little bit of a trade update here. The gold buy is going very nicely so far. I actually did decide to adjust my TP to the 27 on the fib, just because of this move and the measurement of this move. If this move has the same volume, I definitely can see this going about the same distance or even higher than this if this does continue pushing. Maybe even seeing this go to the 61.8. But that is if I decide to hold it that long. I'm thinking when it hits this high, I might take one off just to secure my last previous loss and be floating green for the day because we like to see green. But it does look pretty good so far. I have it set to risk free. So now we kind of just got to let the market do its thing. And we're just going to hold and chill. If it goes a little further though and it starts to retrace at any given point, I may close one position just to secure some profit. Because like I said, I am red on the day. So in this specific scenario, I might take some money. But after the trade ends and I review it, we will have to see if that would have been a good or a bad decision. We'll see. I'm a little undecisive about what to do at this exact moment, because it does look like it can have a parabolic move soon. So I'm just gonna hold and chill. But we'll be back with an update. Okay, we are back. Last update of the night. I'm getting pretty tired. It's been an hour. It's honestly making pretty good movement, but this right here is a little bit concerning to me. Kind of had this push and then it's failed to break this high. And because of the fact that it wasn't doing it and I'm a little tired, which could probably affect my decision making, I did decide to close one here about $50 just to take some of that previous loss off. Because mentally, I kept feeling like if it hit break even when I had two positions open, when originally I was just going to have one anyway, probably be a little upset or just disappointed in myself for not securing more than like $20 when I could have had, a little bit more or at least taken one off and lowered the stress levels a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is leave this at my profit up here and we're going to hit the bed. Same take profit as the first, but I got a better risk to reward ratio this time to where I'd like to go. Awesome. If not, we secure another $10 and we'll start the New York sesh Monday morning. Net negative $90, but pretty satisfied, I guess, with the trading that I've done so far. I took one trade during Aiden's session that did not get chopped up. I'm taking one trade during London session. I'm feeling this one could run. I'm gonna monitor it a little bit in my bed while I'm actually trying to go to bed, but as of right now, I don't think I'm gonna touch this. So best of luck. And I really wish I had the energy to stay up and watch this. But it's getting late. I had a long day. So we're gonna go ahead and clock out on this. So I didn't have my mic on for this section because I had just woke up and turned my computer on and realized that I did not actually turn my microphone on. So I'm just gonna voice over this, but pretty much what I'm looking at here was the fact that if I would have secured my 1 to 3 right here, my original idea setup, it would have taken profit easily. But because I went for the long take profit right here, and went to bed, I didn't have a chance to secure any money. And when I woke up, it had wicked me out for break even. Pretty unfortunate. So right here, I was looking at NAS and I saw that it had bought up after it sold down, and it looked like it had the chance to play off of a fib and keep buying. So I was looking for buys here. Okay, right here you are gonna see that I do decide I would like to hop in a buy. So let's just watch what happens. We enter.
Order filled.
Stop loss is already set. I actually liked where it was because it was under the lows. And now we're just checking to see where that $500 profit is. And it's near the high, so this actually lined up pretty nicely. Okay, so right here, my dad decided he wanted to go eat breakfast, so I decided to move this into break even. And I had to leave my computer, so this is about the last clip I got. And you will see that I was looking at it. I was also kind of seeing this bearish pressure here, and I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna go anywhere further. It could sell down. Okay, this was me showing the charts after I got home from breakfast. As you can see, it was good that I did close early because it did end up going down. This is me opening Top Step again, and you can see that I was showing that I made $35, and I did end up entering a gold trade. I was looking at the same market structure, and I had 2 lots open with a slightly tighter stop loss, which we're going to see here in a second, was at the bottom of this fib level here. And it was kind of like the same idea as the last two, but because of the lower wick not being broken here, I was thinking that it was going to continue upward. This was the last trade of the day. So I was only looking for a 1 to 2. Because of the last couple of trades, I was like, I don't even need it to break this high. I just would like to see this at least come try to test these highs again. And that was what we were looking at. This was me looking at NAS again. That was a trade that I had just drawn up. I didn't actually take that, but that would have hit full TP and it was a nice trade. This was me explaining the NAS trade. And now we go back to gold and we were just watching it. All right, so for the final recap, this was me showing that the gold trade obviously did hit stop loss. And you can see in the top that I was locked out for 6 hours. That is because I hit my 5 trade limit for the day. Just showing the charts here that it was kind of a little choppy in hindsight. And the reason I hit the 5 trade lockout was because since I entered 2 micros and I closed separately on a different position, each closure counts as a trade. So I might actually adjust that to 10 a day because if I'm taking partial profits, it counts the same trade setup as different trades depending on when I close a single position. But overall, I would say out of the 4 trade setups that I did take, I could have ended the day in profit, but also at the same time, ending the day only negative $118 is not bad either because we had a couple little minor mistakes here and there, and the trade that I went to sleep on obviously could have hit take profit if I wasn't so greedy. So overall, just sticking to the plan a little bit tighter, we will definitely end up doing better the next day. But now I'm going to go to the gym. We're going to reset, recover, and we will be back for the next day. Thank y'all very much for watching. If you did watch this whole thing, you to go. Appreciate you.